All right, going to begin the show in just a moment here, guys. Just a moment. Ready to rock and roll. Make sure everything's rolling. La, la, la. Got to get my Covfefe. Delicious iced Covfefe. Here we go. Welcome to a Sunday edition of my show. It's good to be here. Good to be back on live situation. I was banned from Facebook for about 24 hours with regard to posting and stuff like that. That happened the last 24 hours because I made the mistake of saying, responding to Black Lives Matter violence. That's what I did. I made the mistake of calling out Black Lives Matter for their violence, and they have committed much violence. My hair is just being all sorts of goofy today. Just got back from the gym. First time I've been to the gym in a couple weeks, and it was good to be back. I'm going to lower myself a little bit too. Yeah, I'm like a Democrat. I keep lowering myself, to new levels. Anyway, glad to have you here today. We've got a lot of stuff I want to go over, including, some of the madness that's going on in Rochester, New York, among other places. That's the latest target of a Black Lives Matter makeover. Yeah, and Black Lives Matter attacked a bunch of people at a restaurant doing nothing but enjoying dining. And every time that I say that Black Lives Matter is a violent mob, Facebook... Every time that I say that Black Lives Matter is a violent mob, Facebook shuts me down. So it's crazy. Hello there, Deborah. Hello, Dick. Nick, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Let's start off. We're going to start off with Jacob Blake. He's the guy who was shot by police 7 times because he was high on something. He wrestled with police. He was tased. He didn't respond. He walked around the car against the police orders. He reached into the car to get a knife, and he was shot. And consequently, Kenosha burned. But here he is in his hospital bed. He's already pleaded not guilty to rape. That's what he is accused of doing. His ex-girlfriend said he sexually assaulted her twice a year for about 6 years. And I'm not going to get into what he did, but it was just about a little bit worse than what Joe Biden did on the elevator to the intern back in 1992, I think it was. Here is Jacob Blake from his hospital bed.
I just want to say, man, to all the young cats out there, and even the older ones, older than me, it's a lot more life to live out here, man. Your life, and not only just your life, your legs, something that you need to move around and move forward in life, could be taken from you like this, man. And I promise.
See, if you don't do what the police tell you, and if you threaten them and you get tased and you're not responsible or responsive, it generally means, I need to turn up the volume. How about now? Is that better? Ooh, that's probably too loud. How about now? Is that better, Keith? I know you want to hear every word I say. So I just cranked up the volume a skosh. But anyway, you resisted arrest and you went for a knife in your car.
The type of you will go through, staples. I got staples in my back, staples in my stomach. You do not want to have to deal with man.
Well, that's when you got to not rape people, not abuse children, not hold people against their will, and not attack police officers.
24 hours, every 24 hours, it's pain. It's nothing but pain. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to sleep. It hurts to move from side to side. It hurts to eat.
Don't worry, it'll feel better when you're in jail.
Please, I'm telling you, change our lives out there. We can stick together, make some money. make everything easier for our people out here, man, because there's so
Our
much time
people out
that's
here.
been wasted.
Sure, exactly what you mean there, but I kind of have an idea. And you're not a martyr. You're just a criminal. You're just an awful, petty little criminal. You're 28 years old with 6 children, and you had 3 of them in the car that you were trying to get away from the police in when you reached in to grab a knife. So there you go. All right. Meanwhile, oh, this is pretty funny. I got to share this right off the bat. This is pretty funny. Let me see if I can. The Atlantic magazine came out and said that Donald Trump was, he said that dead soldiers were losers, okay, for anonymous sources. And there are a lot of deep staters in the military. We all know in the intelligence agencies, the FBI, all of them went after Donald Trump. And consequently, now we hear that Donald Trump, he was going to visit a cemetery in France. The weather was bad. The helicopters couldn't fly. It would take an hour and 20 minutes to get either way on roads that were frequently 2-lane. And the president actually, following the advice of a general, said, we're not going to the cemetery. Now, even John Bolton, who is an enemy of Donald Trump, if you read his recent book, and you didn't because he's, a sellout piece of crap. Anyway, he said that Donald Trump didn't say it. Melania says that Donald Trump didn't say this. And his record of supporting the military over decades, including 2007. I saw an interview, I think it was Chris Wallace or maybe Wolf Blitzer, where he talked about how he invited Iraqi injured war veterans to come and golf at his courses for free. And he talked about how many of them had been injured in battle and many of them were amputees and how much he admired him. If you look what he's done for the VA, if you look what he's done to rebuild the military, nothing that he has done has said anything but respectful things about the military. So it's a big fat effing lie. If it wasn't a big fat effing lie, it would have come out a couple years ago when this supposedly happened. But this is meant to be some sort of, September surprise before the election. Joe Biden, immediately, the Atlantic was immediately already, actually, they were locked and loaded with the story of the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party even had ads produced the night the story broke. So this was a depth charge, okay? This was intentionally set by the Atlantic, corroborating with the Democrat Party to try and bring Donald Trump down. And you know what it did as far as moving the needle on Donald Trump and the belief in the military? Nothing. It did absolutely nothing because we believe him. There was a false report that said, my hair has a green tint to it. No, that's the lighting. I got to do something about the lighting. I understand. I didn't do chlorine. I got to do something about the lighting. That said, Donald Trump has always been a support of the military, and we know it. All right, everybody knows it. The military knows it. There was a poll that said the military was behind Joe Biden. Why in the hell would they be behind Joe Biden? Not one thing about that poll was true. That said, the Atlantic's having a big old Atlantic Fest. Check out their lineup. I want you to look at their lineup, and I want you to think here. The lineup for the Atlantic Big Party is Hillary Rodham Clinton, Anthony Fauci, Alicia Garza, I'm not sure who she is, Stacey Abrams, who is a big fat loser, Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief at the Atlantic, Billy Porter, the awful performer, whose gender is in question, I guess, who performed the first night of the DNC convention, a really bad version of Dusty Springfield's whatever the hell that song is. Chris Evans, who's a leftist. Samantha Bee, who called Donald Trump's daughter the C word. She's a foul-mouthed, unfunny person. There's your Atlantic, okay? So if you think the Atlantic is somehow not involved in the Democrat Party, not invested in the Democrat Party, you're high. Brett Hume said the lineup of the speakers of the Atlantic's virtual festival is the left is holding a meeting. That's what he said about it. Unbelievable. Now, the Atlantic writer who I guess penned the piece about Donald Trump said of Trump's speech in Tulsa, it was an explicitly white supremacist event, among other things. The Atlantic also warned us that if Trump wins re-election in November, the riot in Portland will look like a preliminary skirmish. Okay, the Washington Post posted an editorial saying that there was going to be war and violence if Donald Trump wins the election. So the left is girding for violence, and to be quite honest, the right is too, except for we're better armed physically and intellectually. Okay, So there you go. Radical leftist agenda, radical leftist rag, which is, of course, The Atlantic. I used to occasionally read The Atlantic. Do not read The Atlantic anymore. F the Atlantic, F the Atlantic. This is pretty funny. So some rioting happened in New York. This happened because a black man in Rochester, I don't have his name in front of me right now. They put up Daniel Prude. Daniel Prude was high on PCP. He was out of his mind. He was running around naked in the neighborhood. And the police arrived and they put what is called a spit hood on him. They put a spit hood on him because he was a danger to the police officers. If he had an infectious disease, he also might bite somebody because he was out of his effing mind. The man ended up suffocating. Now, this could be for a variety of reasons. If you've heard some of the latest things about George Floyd in Minneapolis, he could have suffocated because he had taken fentanyl. He had taken and ingested a fatal dose of fentanyl right before he died. The police had him. He was out of his mind, and he may have decided to eat his stash. And if you eat your stash with regard to fentanyl, a couple little tiny pieces of it could kill you. So George Floyd was going to die of a fentanyl overdose, which frequently includes asphyxia. This guy in Daniel Prude in Rochester is a complete psychotic drug addict criminal, which, not uncommon here. But, of course, the police are being blamed because he asphyxiated himself. And I'm not saying that the jury is out. The jury is out. Was it the police's problem? I don't know. We will find out. We will find out as this case unfolds. That said, this is what happened in New York City over the weekend. This is a Black Lives Matter march, and they combined with another radical organization screaming death to America, death to America. There's been a lot of that death to America, and it's been said by Black Lives Matter people too, by the way. Death to America is being said by Black Lives Matter. You think Black Lives Matter is about black lives? You are wrong. They are a Marxist, radical communist organization that has been on overthrowing the American government, which makes them seditious, which means that they should be shut down. Okay? Here's what they did just for SHs and giggles in New York. They were marching down the street and they just wrecked stuff to wreck stuff. Okay? So they're marching, another march. Oh my God, yeah, we got another march. And they went over, watch, and just smashed out windows in a Starbucks, just to smash them out. They had their umbrellas out. The reason why they have the umbrellas is because the pepper balls to the police. But look at it, just wrecking crap. Just wrecking crap to wreck crap, all right? $100,000 in damage caused by these little punk-ass bitches. All right, I'm just going to say it. Don't usually like to use that kind of language, but little punk-ass bitches. So here is one of these little punk-ass bitches. Her name is Clara Kraber. Clara Kraber. All right, this is Clara Kraber. She's a 20-year-old. Look at how nice she is. Got a puppy and everything, She was among the 8 people arrested on rioting charges Friday. $100 in damage, or $100,000 in damage. She is a student at Rice, a daughter of an East Side architect. They're a very wealthy family. Her family just purchased a $1.8 million apartment on the Upper East Side, and they own a home with 4 fireplaces in Connecticut, okay? So they are the epitome of white privilege, and she took part of this riot, all right? And this is what most of these Black Lives Matter protesters are, and the Antifa protesters are. They are rich little white kids. They're spoiled little white kids, generally in college, maybe right out of college. Unless you're in Portland and you want to murder somebody, then you're a 48-year-old white loser with 2 children. So that's her. That's Clara Kraber. Let's hope that Clara Kraber gets her butt booted out of Rice University. Her career in academia is over. I hope she spends some time in jail, and I hope she loses the right to vote. So there you go, Clara. You want to take part in the mob? Bye-bye. All right? There are those of you who believe that Donald Trump would say that soldiers are losers. I came upon this Donald Trump speaking to a widow of a veteran, somebody who died in combat. By the way, Biden mega donor, Laureen Powell Jobs. She's the widow of Steve Jobs. is the majority owner in the Atlantic. She has donated $1.2 million to Joe Biden and other Democrat candidates since 2019. FEC records show that she owns a 70% stake in the Atlantic, and she is a gigantic donor to the Democrat Party. Okay? She is also holding the Atlantic Fest, and I showed you the very left of center lineup of speakers, including Hillary Clinton. All right? Here is Donald Trump. I guess it's a couple of years ago, at another veteran cemetery where he appears frequently talking to the widow of a soldier.
Nobody made any effort
I'm sorry.
to acknowledge.
Sorry, let me. I did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. I'll remember.
It really means a lot to me. It really does that you take that. And my son loved this country very, very much. And he gave his life painfully. Never cried out in pain or anything like that.
Yeah, it was her son, I guess.
Asked that his men be taken care of. And
What rank was he in?
he was a staff sergeant.
Right behind you,
and
sir.
not a general, not
okay.
anything like that. Just a staff sergeant, a platoon sergeant.
You take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
You take care of yourself.
I don't think he said your son's a loser.
I so appreciate you, and you too, very much.
President
Thank
Trump,
you so
my
much.
son was killed in
Thank
action
you
on
so
9/11, 2008. He was a
Pardon
U.S.
me?
Navy SEAL
Absolutely.
And
Where?
A
in
yellow rose
Afghanistan
to remember.
on a night mission.
Hopefully there's no-
He was shot
Jimmy. He knew
going
he
into
was
the
going to
compound, and he
die.
saved his team.
He knew he
and he
was going
took
to
the
get
hit,
killed
and he
and
died
wasn't
that
coming
night.
home, and he asked me not
I don't think that these people think that Donald Trump would say something like that either.
to be forgotten.
You take care. He's looking down. He's very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Just
Thank you for everything you're doing for the country.
You know, they're looking
And for
down.
the
on you.
military.
Very much. Jimmy knew he wasn't coming home. Jimmy knew he
He knew
wasn't
it.
coming home. And he said he just
Military families, Gold Star families know that Donald Trump is behind the military. To Atlantic, I say, screw you.
He said, Mama, I hope that people don't forget that I ever lived. And if you could
Nobody believes them.
remember just Jimmy,
gonna
that would
remember.
mean so much
I'm
to
gonna
me.
remember right
I was a Marine as also, and a Marine and mother of a Marine. It would mean so much to me, sir.
We will do it.
Thank you so much. It means so
You
much.
take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He's looking down, very happy. Thank you.
Can I have a picture?
Oh my God. Thank you,
Let's go.
sir. Thank you so much. Jimmy.
A couple months ago, the president spoke at West Point. And at the end of the speech, he saluted 600 individual soldiers, recruits, 600 of them. And he tried to lift a glass of water to his mouth, and his hand was shaking. And the military, or the media, went after him, went nuts, saying that he was brain damaged, he was this and he was that. No, he saluted 600 individual soldiers with his hand. Do this 600 times. See what it feels like. By the way, Pat, thank you for promoting my Newsmax show. It's on today at 2, and the reviews are coming in, and they're huge. I'm trying to convince them to put me on more. We'll see what happens. I consider it a blessing to be on Newsmax. It's a treat. And all the feedback that I'm getting is really positive because people need to laugh. They want to laugh, and they need to laugh. Okay? All right. Oh, by the way, at the direction of the president, the White House and of Management and Budget will move to identify and eliminate any trace of critical race theory. This is all the white privilege nonsense that's been going around the country for years. And it's gotten so bad that there are governments, municipalities that are actually sending white people away to re-education camps. And literally, they're called camps, and they're re-education camps for everyone to admit that they are white privileged and they are racist. This is a gigantic lie. It has been perpetrated on the American people, and it is called what I call, and I have coined this, it is called a big offense. Okay, so you've heard of big media, big oil, big this, big offense. These are people who are offended by things, and it consequently, even though we're protected by the First Amendment, the greatest piece of legislation in the history of mankind, offending people apparently is a big deal. All right, offending people is the worst thing you could possibly do. And of course, if you are white, you are privileged because you're white. I would beg you to go drive through coal country in West Virginia and see how those guys are privileged, okay, and the poverty that exists in those areas. Or just drive down to southern Missouri, where people live in trailers with chicken coops in the yard, and next door there's a meth manufacturer. You just check that out. Just see how privileged those people are. John says, "Good morning. You are the best. There is no way our president said anything. About the negative about the military. He didn't say anything negative about it. Yeah, you're exactly right. He says it's nothing more than fake news, feeble attempts to destroy his and our character as freedom-loving Americans." You're right, John. You're right. It's a nice try, but nobody effing believes you, Atlantic. Nobody believes you, okay? There was a giant Trumptilla yesterday. They broke all sorts of records, like 20,000 boats, different places around the country. A couple of small boats got swamped and sank. All the media could talk about was the Trumptilla is sinking. No, they're two small boats. They got swamped by very large boats. And if you get washed by a very large boat and a very small boat, and the back of your boat fills with water, it's going to sink. It's about practicing safe boating. And apparently somebody, maybe they got a little close to a big boat and whatever. That's the way it works. So the Trumptillas are gigantic. The Trump rallies are gigantic. They are positive. They are awesome. Let me see if I've got some footage of one of his rallies in Pennsylvania, Latrobe, Pennsylvania, the other day. Just a fantastic event. I'll have to find it. Anyway, Donald Trump, he appeared in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, gigantic crowd. They could have cared less, actually, about, social distancing and all this effing nonsense. And by the way, I can't say anything negative about the WHO, and I can't stray from the line with regard to the WHO, or I'll be taken off of Facebook. Okay, all right. That's what they've done. They did it again. They did it again. They did it again. I don't have the Latrobe footage. I'll look for it in just a second. But it was very positive. It was really, really positive. Huge crowds for Donald Trump. Huge crowds to meet him at the airport. Nobody out meeting Joe Biden. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Joe Biden. Nobody is behind Joe Biden. Nobody is positive about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a joke. Joe Biden is a joke, right? And I've already told you this. Mark my words. The Democrat Party already knows that Joe Biden has lost. They do. That's why Kamala Harris is the candidate. That's why she is on the ticket, because she's the only person who'd take it. Other than Stacey Abrams, she really wanted it. She really wanted it because the food, I guess, is great in the White House. She's big into that. And I'm picking on her weight. Whatever. Anyway, she's a jerk. But the reason why is because they already know they've lost. She came in sixth place after spending $35 million to become the candidate. Joe Biden spent $36 million. He's senile. And he became the candidate. She came in sixth place after Tom Steyer. Great. She's not popular. She brings nothing to the ticket. Guys, she brings nothing to the ticket. Why do you have somebody on your presidential ticket? You want votes. She brings nothing to the ticket. She's not likable. She doesn't bring a following. She's not bringing millions of voters with her from her run for president. Okay? They know he's lost. And this is why you're seeing all of these articles, including the Washington Post, saying that there's going to be massive violence. They are threatening violence if Donald Trump is elected. Joe Biden did it the other day. They're threatening violence. They are saying the country will burn if Donald Trump wins. That's what they're saying. Okay? We're not going to let that happen, are we? Hello, Donna. Love your show. Love how you speak the truth. Well, thank you. I try to speak the truth. I generally try not to lie, unlike the Atlantic. I'm getting a lot of love on my Rob Carson Show live page. Not getting any comments. Not sure what that is, if there are issues with that. But on my Rob Carson Show page, getting lots of comments. And I appreciate it. All right. Oh, by the way, the reach on the Facebook page is gigantic, even though I've been banned a couple times. I mean, I've reached like 70,000 people this month, which is not gigantic, but pretty good. Oh, by the way, Diamond and Silk are on my show today on Newsmax. Okay. Oh, did you hear the big news? The unemployment rate dropped below 8.4%, and all of the networks didn't cover it. Seriously. Check this out. 1.4 million jobs added in August. That's a huge number. That's good news. You know why it's good? Because the American people want to work. We don't like being at home. Some people like being at home collecting unemployment. They think it's great. And I got to tell you, it's kind of cool for like a day or two or maybe a week unemployment. But then it's like, but where's your purpose in life? There's only so much Netflix you can watch. We like to work. I like to work. I love doing this. Oh my God. I hope to do this full time. All of the networks didn't cover it. Check this out, man. So retail and professional business services had 250,000 new jobs, 197,000 respectively, according to the BLS. But on the day that this happened, ABC, CBS, NBC decided to cover meaningless fluff, including Stephanie Rule doing a piece on Labor Day sales. Al Roker talked about stars and joking about a fancy porta potty he once rented for an outdoor party. So all of the three majors did not cover the good news about the economy. Oh yeah, ABC, they did 185 seconds promoting their Disney new live action movie Mulan, and they're owned by Disney, by the way. So there you go. So, you know. Let's talk about Rochester, New York. Oh, Pat, you're right. I didn't mention Graceland. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. That'll probably get me banned again from Facebook, but they are. If there were billions of dollars worth of damage, thousands of businesses destroyed and spray painted with BLM, if it was instead of sprayed Trump 2020 or RNC, they would call the Republican National Committee or Trump supporters terrorists. I mean, they do anyway. But BLM is responsible for massive violence around the country, massive violence and destruction. The Trump supporter who was shot in Portland the other day, murdered by a guy who said he's proudly Antifa. He's a part of a Patriot Prayer group. It's called Patriot Prayer. Two things that the left absolutely hates. Two things that Democrats absolutely hate. Patriotism and prayer. Facebook took Patriot Prayer off their page after the guy was murdered in cold blood, saying that Patriot Prayer was a terrorist group. If you don't know who's in bed at Facebook, and I know people right now at Facebook are watching me right now. I know that I've gotten their attention. I'm getting a lot of viewers. I'm getting a lot of notice. I know that they're watching on YouTube. They canceled me on YouTube a week ago. They took down a couple of my episodes. I know they're watching. I've gotten their attention. I'm honored because that means a lot of people are watching and people are paying attention. That's big. That's big. But these a-holes at BLM spray painted the wall at Graceland. Why in the hell would they spray the wall at Graceland? What is the point other than just sheer destruction? Daniel Prude's death in Rochester, New York, the latest to get a Black Lives Matter makeover, which, of course, includes millions of dollars of destruction. This is the reaction from Black Lives Matter in Rochester, New York, okay? Bunch of people were arrested. This is what happened the day after Daniel Prude died, or a couple days later. Black Lives Matter just going after patrons in a restaurant and wrecking the place. That doesn't make any sense. It's sheer, uninhibited violence. What's the point? Okay, can it get any more? Can you brand this anymore as Black Lives Matter? They're cheering Black Lives Matter. They're cheering Black Lives Matter as they wreck a restaurant and terrify people. We're shutting your party down. All they're doing is dining. Let's go forward here. Oh, watch this. Hold on. I want to watch this thug a-hole. Watch. Just goes in. Watch. Clears this table out. They've done nothing. They're just patrons at a restaurant. Watch this gigantic piece of crap. Just wrecking the place. Oh, God, I wish MAGA Hulk was there. Have you seen MAGA Hulk? I would love to see MAGA Hulk kick his ass. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Are you proud of this, Black Lives Matter? Are you proud, Mayor of Kansas City, who's allowing 6 Black Lives Matter murals to be painted in Kansas City? And by the way, I'm not going into Kansas City anymore. Douchebags. Here's some Black Lives Matter protesters on someone's house. And they're laughing. They're just laughing. You know what? I'd go to the second floor and I just cock my my 12-gauge shotgun. I've got a double barrel. I've got 3 12-gauge shotguns. Actually, one of them's a double barrel. Betty says, I watched your show for the first time on Newsmax yesterday. Love your show. Love you, Betty. Thank you. A lot of people are watching it. And a lot of people, when they discover it, are seeing that I make a point with humor. That's my goal. I mean, I can make a point intellectually, but I like to use humor. That's why I wrote for Rush Limbaugh for so many years. I started writing for Rush as a kid right out of college in 1990. All of the parodies that you heard on Rush's show, I wrote a good many of those and voiced a good many of them. And we use humor to make a point. John says, Pat, would what could a deceased Elvis Presley have possibly done to have that done to Graceland? I know, it's awful. Elvis Presley was, he was an amazing performer. He was not a racist. He was inspired by black gospel music and the blues, and he brought it to the fore as a legendary performer. He was a legendary performer. He really was. He was amazing, and he was my idol as a kid. Why would you just do that? Why would you tear down statues? God dang it! What has happened to our country? Look at what happened here. Since George Floyd's death, look at this leftist attempted revolution in the country that has involved tearing down statues, changing Aunt Jemima's name, taking cops off the air, this idiocy, renaming monuments that attempt by the psychotic mayor of D.C. to either rename or take down 300 plus monuments in Washington, D.C., even the Washington Monument, okay? This is absurd, leftist, wet dream of class of 68 thing. They want to go, they're going for broke. It didn't work in 1968. Their communist revolution didn't work. They're going for broke. And now they're saying if Donald Trump wins the election, it's going to get worse. Well, we're ready to defend the country. We're ready to defend the country. Are you? We're ready to defend the country as founded. We're ready to defend our friends and neighbors. We are ready to, there is no race war in this country. I love the fact that this moron in D.C. said that there's a race war. That is an insult to all of the good people. All of the good people who live in interracial neighborhoods, who have interracial marriages, all of the white families that have adopted children of color, to act as though that they would separate from one another and fight one another because of the color of their skin is an absolute joke. And shame on Muriel Bowser for even suggesting it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, listen, here's some more fun in Rochester. Pure, unadulterated racism.
Direct your energy towards white folks tonight.
Yeah, direct your energy towards white folks tonight, guys. Just direct your energy towards white folks.
Let's direct your energy towards white folks tonight, guys.
Yeah, okay, so that would be attack white people. That's what that is. That is pure, unadulterated, you like to say reverse racism. I'll call it reverse KKK. Yeah, reverse KKK. Yeah, Nick says the amount of preparedness the right has now is insane. And you're right, for a lot of reasons, but primarily the vote. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Because I don't want to get banned again. All righty. Let's see. I got a video called New York Black Lives Matter. Let's watch this.
They're getting a private ride, yo.
Okay, listen to this moron. There was a transgendered Trump supporter in that car being surrounded by Black Lives Matter attackers. And the police tried to rescue them, and they ended up running over, or at least moving out of the way, the protesters that would have attacked them and maybe beaten them to death.
They're getting a private ride, yo.
You sound like an idiot. The person talking is an idiot.
That's amazing. They got a black car. They got a black car. Yeah.
And there they are, of course, screaming all sorts of profanities and awful things to the police.
Woo, it's a lot of them.
They will frequently say to female police officers that they would rape them. Male officers, they go full on racist with minority police officers. Black Lives Matter and Antifa are awful, awful people, and they need to be. Their funding needs to be cut, and many of them need to be jailed. Yo, yeah, you say yo a lot. You're not terribly smart because you say yo a lot. Here is a little piece that was put together about the Democrats and fomenting violence. And make no bones about it, it's not the president fomenting violence. It's the Democrat Party and the left.
Another night of violent protests.
Violent protests are continuing across the country.
Let's get one thing straight. Bringing Molotov cocktails to public gatherings is not a peaceful protest.
Democrats invited it.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet, you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Democrats encouraged it.
When they go low, we kick them. That's what this new Democratic Party is about.
Get them in the face of some Congress.
I don't think we could be any more clear here, right? Like when Black Lives Matter goes into a restaurant screaming Black Lives Matter and wrecks the place. I don't think you could badge this anymore, okay? There's no denying where this is coming from.
People, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
The little snowflake whirlwind, dear Lord.
Molotov cocktails.
You have no idea. You're kicking a pit bull, guys.
And loaded rifle magazines, and arson, and assault, and laser beams blinding police officers.
Crowd turned on us. It was clear it was organized, and then a mob descended on us.
It's no wonder people are taken to the streets, and I support them.
They're literally walking up and down the street, breaking every window they see.
Violent anarchists have broken windows, destroyed fencing, graffitied buildings.
The vast majority of the protests have been peaceful. Exercising their rights to peacefully protest.
Let's get one thing straight. The riots are not peaceful protests.
Police were ambushed.
A couple of bricks, there were a number of officers hurt.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
An elderly couple targeted because of their political views.
Democrats bailed them out.
New questions about who the Minnesota Freedom Fund is bailing out.
And the Biden actual staff members who have contributed to it.
Joe Biden's own staff contributed to the Minnesota Freedom Fund. That fund offered bail to serial rapists, murderers, and other violent criminals who are now back on the street.
The Democrat Party's evil, guys. I mean, if you don't get that, and honestly, if you are a Democrat, I'd be ashamed. And if you aren't, you have no sense of shame. It's tragic and awful. And I would hope that when you get your ass kicked in November, that you would at least be introspective enough to say the party needs to be taken down and redirected, or it just needs to disappear.
Kamala Harris encouraged her followers to contribute to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
And if Democrats take the Senate, they'll answer to the mob.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day, and they should not.
These aren't Trump supporters here, kids. These aren't Trump supporters.
Mass protesters are destroying anything they see.
The violence and the vandalism are not peaceful protests.
Say no to the mob.
We are. Here, let's meet Biden supporters. These are Biden supporters, okay? And if you vote for Joe Biden, you are a de facto supporter of this.
This is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop, and they should not.
These people are tearing up our livelihood.
Third straight night, Portland police declared a riot.
The vast majority of the protests have been peaceful.
Peaceful protests, mostly peaceful protests, don't cause billions of dollars in damages and thousands of businesses burned. Dear God in heaven, if you don't see that, you need to be smacked upside the head.
Again, 59 officers injured and 40
figuratively, because I don't promote violence.
People arrested.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing a proposal to cut $1 billion from the New York City Police Department.
Well, that was Kenosha.
We need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
You like this, guys? And you won't. There you go. Let's play some video of Patriots fighting back.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tiny. I'm out here with all these patriots. We're taking stand for America. And it's been over 80 days that this anarchy has happened in Portland. And the public of
that is a man of color.
Officials in Portland are putting their political views first and before the safety of the people. The people they elected.
People are tired of it. The pit bull is tired of being kicked.
And put you in office should come first.
Rawr.
This anarchy has happened in Portland for too damn long, and now we're out here because we're pissed off, and we're not gonna see this country.
There's a whole lot of that pissed off thing happening right now, and you feel it too. And you hold it down, and you watch this footage, and you see another city burn, and another temper tantrum by the left, by Black Lives Matter, by Antifa, and you hold it down, and you hold it down, and you gird yourself, and you say, just wait till November. And you think about how you'd protect your family and how you would defend the country. I get it, man. I'm right with you. I do not promote violence, and I will not. But I'm going to tell you, the American people are going to fight back at the ballot box. And if the left decides they want to make it ugly afterwards, we will defend the country. That's it. If you come to my neighborhood and you want to try and destroy my neighborhood, I'm not going to let you do it. I'm not going to do it. My neighbors won't let you do it either. Hey, let's watch an Antifa beatdown, shall we? This is in Portland. This is an Antifa protester, violent rioter, attacking police. Took a police officer's helmet off, and the police officer responded in kind. Wait for it. It's fun. Of course, the police, they get urine bottles and feces thrown at them, and explosive devices and Molotov cocktails. Ooh, I have something fun coming up. Antifa protester in Portland accidentally sets himself on fire. Little Sunday morning humor for you. There we go. Watch it. Take the helmet off. Nope, not going to work. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Let's watch that again. Okay. Take the police officer's helmet. Nope. As the old guy on Sept says, that's a beating. That's a paddling. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Night, night. Night, night, Antifa protester. Here is the guy, the Antifa, these idiots, and they're throwing Molotov cocktails, which are, of course, gasoline in a bottle with a rag on top, meant to burn, maim, kill police officers. Well, one of the Antifa douchebags, thugs, decided to throw a Molotov cocktail and set one of his cohorts on fire. Who's got hot feet? I've got hot feet. Hey, my hot feet. Oh, my hot feet. Yeah. These are my Nikes that I paid $1,500 for that are made in China by slaves. Yeah, I don't like laughing at things like this, but you know, if you're going to try to kill police officers with Molotov cocktails and you're behind it, let's watch him do the hot feet dance again. I love this. It's funny. I've got hot feet. Hey, everybody, hot feet. Hot feet. Look at it. Wait, hold on. He left like burning footprints. Hold on. Look at this. There you go. I think we can trace where he is, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's over this way. Just follow the burning footprints. Somebody smell rubber burning out. I think it's rubber burning, yeah. Douchebags. I love it. That's his burning shoe. Oh, that's funny. Now, I got to show you another one. This happened, I believe, was in New York. And we've seen a lot of these thugs, these racist attacks on people, particularly old people, a couple different times. Literally, 90-year-old woman punched in the face by a person of color, possibly Black Lives Matter supporter. Just this nonsensical violence because the police have been defunded and they aren't able to, do what they're supposed to do. But this is a thug just decides to knock an old lady down, and he did it, unfortunately, in front of a fire station. So he just punches her in the face as he rides by on his bike, and the guys in the fire station notice this. This is funny. This is good. So here's the punch. Just punch an old lady in the face like an a-hole. Why would you? Oh, firefighters. Oh, it gets better. Watch. Whoops. Oh, geez. Oh, Lord. What a complete douche. Oh, man. Tackle that mother scratcher. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Watch this again. Why would you do that? What sort of animal are you, you ass? And there are the firefighters on the ground. I haven't received any idea or a report on this guy's gone to jail. I don't know what his name is. I hope he's publicly shamed. And I hope he serves some time in jail for assault. There he is being hauled off. And I hope somebody steals his bike too. Yeah, just for S's and giggles. Yeah, just punching a lady in the face. Why? What the hell? What sort of hole in your soul do you have? Hello, Shelby. How are you? I know, Shelby, my niece, loves to see thugs get their butts beat. And it makes me smile too. Yes, sir. I do have some funny video I want to get to. Steve Inman did a little piece. He's a I guess a journalist. Downtown Seattle or downtown Portland, what downtown Portland has become under the leadership of Ted Wheeler, also the governor of the state of Oregon. And here's a little tour of what downtown Portland has become.
Steve Inman reporting. This is downtown Portland. As you can see, has turned into a literal shithole. It's one of those scenes that you've seen in RoboCop, something that we've seen in sci-fi movies, the apocalyptic movies, and now it's happening in real life. Who the hell Scooter is that? Look at all these losers. I can only smell the video right now.
And that's probably pot, patchouli, and body odor.
As we speak.
Maybe burning rubber.
Stench beyond comprehension.
Or just rubber.
And these assholes have tagged up everything in the park. This is their way of life. This is what they want. They want to live like this.
And election time is coming.
I almost feel as if I caught hepatitis by watching this. And it's disgusting. It's repulsive. Yeah. But the mayor of Portland is obviously okay with this.
Doesn't mind at all. And a lot of people are upset about it. People are moving from cities like Portland, certainly New York. This is good. Okay, this is a video. This is the Democrat Party's worst nightmare, and that is black people saying, we're tired of it. Years ago, Hillary Clinton made a comment about the Republican plantation, and I laughed because if there is an ideological plantation, it's the Democrat Party, and if you are conservative or Republican as a black person, you try to escape, and they will send the hounds after you. They really will. They'll destroy you. They'll call you an Uncle Tom. And all these things. You're seeing great Republicans, Candace Owens. You're seeing the walk away movement is gaining gigantic steam because black people are being told, like Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. I mean, imagine the audacity of that. Hello, Gina in Utah, and you're deplorable, and I love you, by the way. Thanks for joining me. Here is MAGA Hulk. MAGA Hulk is here. I love MAGA Hulk. This guy is so freaking huge. And they're just talking about we're done with the Democrat Party, and they should be, because the Democrat Party is offering nothing. And I'm not just talking to African Americans. I'm talking about the Democrat Party is offering America nothing right now. Tell me what they're going to do to make the country better. The Democrat Party is offering nothing for the future of the country, the future of your family, or your children. Nothing.
stand up for. Mega Hulk, you almost turned green over there.
There's Mega Hulk right there.
I want to know what were you giving? What were you telling those guys?
Well, I was trying to get them to understand, like, just at first answer the question, because we would
that dude has got like 25-inch biceps.
Give him a question for him to answer, you know, because Donald Trump is racist. Well, how's he racist? That's it.
He's been saying.
Watch this.
Seen him quoted saying some racist shit about black people.
Like what? Nothing. You got
Nothing.
You keep saying, "Oh, I heard him say this. I heard him say that." So you have no facts, though, bro. You got to come with some facts. That's it. Oh, and they just repeat it and repeat it. So I'm like, look, just answer the question. But they can't answer the question because they have no facts on their side. They have no facts. They don't do any research.
I love me some MAGA Hulk.
They don't
Not in that way.
do any type of higher learning when it comes to what they believe. All they know is what the media narrative tells them to believe, and that's all they parrot.
Organization is fake. Like I personally believe that the BLM movement is fake. It has nothing to do with advancing the lives of black people.
They actually say they want to break up the family home.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Their main goal is to break up the patriarchal, nuclear family. They want the men removed out of the family, which is what Democrats want also.
That's Marxism.
If BLM really cared about black lives, why would it be solely isolated to incidents where a black life is taken at the hands of a white cop? That happens less than 1%.
Come on.
Now, wait. Now, I like to equate this to, it's the same as if I was in a horrific accident. I have
wow, they've got facts on their side.
A massive head wound. I have a leg fracture and a scratch in my finger. And here come the first responders, and they want to tend to the scratch in my finger. And I'm telling you, what about the wound on my head? What about my fractured leg? That's what the BLM movement is. They're tending to the scratch on my finger, and that's not even what it's about. If you want to help us, let us tell you how you can help us. Don't come in and tell us how you want to help us, and don't.
This is about being armed intellectually. Okay? Armed intellectually. Intelligent arguments based on facts and not name calling.
Tell me that I'm oppressed, because I'm not oppressed. I'm a black American. I'm a proud black American.
I love this.
I am not oppressed. I'm one of the freest persons on this world.
Yes, sir.
For no man, I only kneel to God.
As you can see,
come on now.
As you can see, black conservatism is the new punk rock. You know?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Listen to that again. Hold on.
I am not oppressed. I'm one of the freest persons on this world.
Kneel for no man. I only kneel to God.
As you can see,
no one has a privilege over me except for God.
As you can see, black conservatism is the new punk rock. You know?
Yeah, baby. And yet, you know, whenever you have these walk away movements or these marches, Republicans are there to welcome you into the brood. Welcome. We don't care about your color. We don't care. All we care is about freedom. All we care is about family. All we care is about letting babies survive the womb. All we care about is making the inner cities better. All we care about is being proud of our country. All we care about is being strong, being patriotic, being a good country. The country is good. America is good. There's never been a greater engine of economic and individual freedom in the history of mankind. It didn't happen. Imagine where the world would be without America. It would be a lot worse place. And if you don't believe that, go effing live in effing North Korea or effing Cuba. Okay? Yeah. Suck it. This is David McSweeney. He's a politician in Kenosha. He's not very happy.
This is State Representative David McSweeney. I'm in Kenosha today. I grew up in Northern Illinois. This is a city that is close to my heart. My father was born in Milwaukee. This is the destruction that we're seeing in this country. This is not Beirut. This is Kenosha, Wisconsin, a great city, great people. These are businesses that have been destroyed. Yep. We need to wake up. These Democratic leaders in Wisconsin and Illinois are allowing our cities, our towns, our livelihoods to be destroyed. We need to stand up to violence. We need to make sure.
Keep kicking the pit bull. That's all I got to say.
We are enforcing the law. We need to protect citizens. It's time for the National Guard. Yes. It's time for the federal government to come in, restore order, and make sure that we're all protected.
I have to agree wholeheartedly. You like it when cities burn? You like it? Yeah, not so much. I don't think I'm going to cover Jessica Krugman. Jessica Krugman is a African-American. Well, no, she's not. She's white. She's white and Jewish. She's from Kansas City. Spent her entire career. Now I'll play a little bit of this. Spent her entire career saying she's a black woman. She's like, and there's this derangement syndrome. I don't know what it is. what's her name? Elizabeth Warren. She said she was Native American for years. She has less Native American blood than I do, and I'm white. Okay. And also Rachel Dolezal. She lied about being black. She even got on the NAACP as a board member, I guess, pretending she's black because liberals have to have a bunch of check marks on different afflicted groups that they are part of. Here she is. This is a couple weeks ago. She apparently had to come out as a white person because she had been discovered. She knew it was coming. She missed her mother's funeral because if she would have attended, they would have seen mom in the casket as a white person and her daughter, who's white, and her father, who's white. But here she is talking about oppression and all of it. Listen,
I also want to call out all these white New Yorkers who waited 4 hours with us.
Who waited 4 hours. Jewish people, white Jewish people from Kansas City don't talk like that.
To be able to speak, and that did not yield their time to black and brown indigenous New Yorkers who thought that their sense of, I thought cops was here to protect us, but I guess they're not. Boy, you think that this sort of like shock and empathy thing is the move.
She is mentally ill.
Oh, so a couple of things. You was talking about moving against the gang dating.
Okay, she's by the way, she graduated from high school in 1999. She boycotted prom and planned a flag burning.
What's up with that? Because last I checked,
she's mentally ill.
Operating. Last I checked, that's still up.
By the way, she goes the activist pseudonym Jessica La Bombalera. Jessica La Bombalera.
Talk about us to show up, been shown up in all these neighborhood council meetings trying to fight gentrification. Ain't nothing changed. And then real quick, I want to talk about some of my experiences in the Bronx on Thursday.
So did you go to synagogue last night? Just checking. I didn't see you there last night. What's going on?
So, y'all heard from a few people who
haven't seen you in a while since you got the nose ring and started declaring yourself to be a black person.
There, and thank you. Much power to all my siblings who were standing up, my black and brown siblings.
Your siblings are white people, yeah.
Standing. Y'all know what it was, right?
Word to your mother. Your mother, actually, you missed her funeral.
It was led by a group called Decolonize This Place. The NYPD is a colonial occupation force.
Wow.
Let's be real honest. Y'all know they're being trained by the IDF.
Leslie's being trained by the, okay, wow. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm thinking Cocoa Puffs is all she eats. Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi went and got her hair cut. No, she got a wash and blow. Which Bill Clinton was quite fond of, actually, but he didn't do it at a hair salon. Thanks. Here is Nancy Pelosi. She's been preaching, and a lot of the left in this country, they are demanding that you wear a mask. We've seen this time and time again. Anthony Fauci went and pitched the first pitch in a Nationals game, which was way left, oddly enough, and then was seen in the stands not wearing a mask. You saw the mayor of Philly. He has closed down all Philly restaurants for indoor dining without masks, and he goes into Maryland and has dinner in a restaurant with no mask on. They either have superhuman immune systems or they don't believe the bullshit they're peddling. And I'll just go ahead and eliminate the first choice there. They don't believe it. If they believed it was a dangerous pandemic, they would live by their own rules, but they don't. The reason why they're asking you to wear a mask is because it broadcasts fear. That's it. Here's something they put together about, and by the way, this is kind of an insult to my wife brought this up. Marie Antoinette did not say let there be cake as an insult. She just loved cake and she knew that people liked cake. So she was murdered. But she really wasn't like, let there be cake. She wasn't that way. But she's kind of become a metaphor. But anyway, here is Nancy Pelosi as Marie Antoinette.
This closure is absolutely devastating to businesses like hair salons.
A homeless man arrested for violating the mandatory mask order.
The hair salon owner who opened up her store has been jailed.
Must wear your mask. Wear the mask. This is the president who doesn't want to wear a mask. No one is above the law.
Nancy Pelosi was seen not wearing a face mask at a San Francisco hair salon.
Day before, Pelosi was saying
she doesn't believe her own BS.
Those people who don't wear masks, who don't follow rules, are bad people.
Not wearing a mask and having haircuts indoors against the rules there.
Be an example to the country. And
You're a bad example.
wear the mask.
Nancy Pelosi appears to have violated.
I'm a big believer in wearing the mask.
Next time, Madam Speaker, why don't you see if someone will come to your house?
You must wear your mask. Wear masks at all times.
God, this is good.
It's for thee, not for me.
Share this video. Share this show with everybody you know.
Blame others. Leaders take responsibility. So I take responsibility for falling for a setup.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi claims she was set up.
So the Speaker of the House is blaming the salon.
What an awful, awful, awful woman.
She didn't wear a mask indoors.
And now she's having lawyers get involved to like dox this.
To destroy the third most powerful person in the country in the federal government is going after a hair salon owner.
Or salon owner who has been shut down for 6 months.
We haven't worked. We have no income. Since this happened, I have received nothing but hate, text messages, death threats. They're going to burn my hair salon down.
I think that they'll.
This is the left. Not a big surprise.
That this salon owes me an apology.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done there. So.
In the meantime, Nancy Pelosi is overseeing a legislative negotiation in which salons like the one that she went to would not get any money.
We have bills to pay.
So upsetting, and it's devastating. Pelosi is being decimated for having a beauty parlor opened when all others are closed.
Financially, it's...
She is done. Nancy Pelosi is done.
Yes.
The timestamp on the video says 3:08 p.m. Less than 3 hours later, she appeared on MSNBC with perfectly coiffed hair, lecturing everyone else.
Those people there, no mask. What a bad example that was.
Wow, this is great.
I mean, you wouldn't want to go into your freezer with that kind of ice cream, not looking your best.
Oh, wow. Bravo. Bravo. That was good, good, good. Pat, yeah, you like that too. Fantastic, fantastic. Here is Kayleigh McEnany going after her and putting on continuous loop Nancy Pelosi in the salon.
Good afternoon, everyone. 2 briefings ago, I asked, where is Nancy Pelosi? Today, I can announce we have found Nancy Pelosi. As you can see, we found Nancy Pelosi going into her hair salon. We will be playing the video on loop for all of you to see during the duration of this introduction.
I love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. I'm not going to play any Joe Biden. I have some Joe Biden, but I'm not going to play some Joe Biden. I do want to mention that people are moving out of Democrat-run cities. People are moving out of New York City. 400,000 people have already left. The mayor of New York, Bill Damasio, the other day said that really doesn't matter. The lion's share of people are going to stay there, so no big deal. But these are people who are the moneymakers. These are the people who are the producers, and they're done. And they're done. Oh, did Facebook shut me down? Hold on. It says having trouble playing the video. I wonder if Facebook... Yep, they're trying to shut me down. Hopefully there are no issues with that, because they do like to try to shut me down. Okay, back on. Anyway, they are moving out. Here's a little story about people getting the heck out of New York City to go to greener pastures. Let's hope they leave their politics behind. My friend Jack says, day 5 of 30 in Facebook jail. Watching you live. We'll catch your show later on Newsmax. Sorry about that, dude. I spent some time in Facebook jail myself this week. Not pleasant. Not pleasant. And yet I'm still reaching like 70,000 people in less than a month. There you go. So there's no lines to see Broadway shows in New York. You know where the lines are? Ready? See the line? Where are they? Are they at a restaurant opening? Are they at the Broadway show? They're waiting to get into a concert. No, they're at U-Haul. Wow. they're all at U-Haul, wanting to get the hell out of New York. That is fantastic. That's where the lines are. Wow, epic fail on behalf of Bill Damasio. Unreal. This is an interesting story out of Memphis. I'm going to wrap things up here. I got about another 10 minutes or so. Sarah Whittington died in February 16th in hospice. She had COPD. Just about a week ago, her son got a letter from the Department of Health saying that she died of COVID. This is before COVID happened.
Troy Whittington was sure surprised when he opened up a letter this week that came from the Shelby County Health Department.
I'm just having a hard time understanding how they can say someone has COVID-19 when they're not even alive.
Troy Whittington is baffled. This letter arrived from the Shelby County Health Department for his mother, Sandra Whittington.
A good share of the coronavirus deaths are fake. We found that 6% of people who've died of COVID died exclusively from COVID. That's from the CDC.
The letter says she's been diagnosed as COVID positive and needs to isolate. But according to her obituary,
I'm thinking a casket is a pretty isolated place.
The 66-year-old died February 16th. That was weeks before the first case of COVID-19 was even detected in Shelby County.
It's been 6 months, almost 7, since she passed away. There was no testing that was done at that time. On her death certificate, it was stated what the cause of death was, and it was not COVID-19. It was COPD.
Whittington says when he called the health department, he was told she took a COVID-19 test June 20th, which was clearly impossible.
I tried to call the health department this morning, asked them why this is going on. She said she would have to get a supervisor. She was sorry for the mistake, or that she couldn't tell me any information.
Do you know why this happened? Because the hospital gets money.
Until she got a supervisor, and I haven't heard back from them.
Whittington says this situation makes him question not only the Shelby County Health Department's COVID-19 statistics, but statistics across the country.
I would just like for the health department to be more accurate.
Whittington would also like to point out if his mom had been alive and tested positive in June, why did it take so long for the notification to go out?
We're talking 2 months later, she needs to be quarantined for 10 days. Well, we've already got 60 days from the time of the test to get the letter out to her, which is unacceptable.
A spokesperson for the Shelby County Health Department says around 5 o'clock this evening, the department director called the Whittington family to apologize. We're told protocols have been put in place so something like this won't happen again.
In other words, we got caught. Stephen Crowder featured a video. This is a guy who had some people who kept stealing the yard signs in front of the house. And they were, of course, Trump signs, and leftists were coming by and they were stealing the Trump signs. And this guy decided he'd have a little bit of fun, so he shot him with a paintball gun. And I like this. I think this is a great idea. I'm thinking about getting a paintball gun, actually, because you're going to mark these people. You're going to mark their clothes. And you're going to send a powerful signal to get the F off my lawn without actually killing them, because you wouldn't want to do that. But you certainly want to mark them. You certainly want to chase them off, and you certainly don't want to see them again. This is funny. Okay, did you hear this? Those are high school girls. You can tell. That's a guy there first and a girl in second. That makes me happy. I like that. Okay, you ready for some fun video? Should we do that? I have some fun video here. This is pretty good. This is a singing parrot. This is in Chico is the name of the bird. Not sure where the bird is. A wildlife park in Boston. Chico likes to sing, but Chico, when Chico sings, he goes for it. This is Chico singing Beyonce's "If I Were a Boy."
If I was a boy,
shut your mouth.
If I was a boy,
wow, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Thankfully, Weekly World News for the awesome, not Weekly World News, I should say, it's the UK Daily Mail. UK Daily Mail. This is pretty funny. This is a TikTok user, Ali Sherb, shared a video of her grandma with her 24-year-old McDonald's burger and fries. Now, normally, if grandma had a 24-year-old burger and fries, you probably want to check her into that nursing facility. You know, I'm just saying. I don't know why she has a 24-year-old burger and fries, but this was a McDonald's burger and fries, and it was perfectly preserved. And the reason being, it's not because it's McDonald's food and it's got all preservatives and all that crap. No, it's just in a very dry environment. But here's what it looks like after 24 years.
So you want to see my hamburger?